Let's be real for a second. We've all had those moments where our mouth moves faster than our brain. You're talking to someone you barely know. The vibe feels okay. And before you even realize it, you've handed them a whole chapter of your life. Not the summary, the chapter, with backstory, emotion, and bonus details nobody asked for. And then you walk away like, why? Why did I do that? They didn't need to know all that. I don't even know their last name. The thing is, oversharing doesn't mean you're weak or dramatic or too much. Most of the time, it just means you're human. You want connection. You want to feel seen. You want someone to understand you without judging you. But here's where it gets messy. Not everyone you talk to is actually safe for your vulnerability. Some people look friendly, but aren't trustworthy. Some people enjoy listening, but don't care about you. And some people simply haven't earned the right to know the deeper parts of your life. And that's exactly why keeping a tight inner circle matters. It's not about being cold or distant. It's about being intentional. It's about realizing that your energy, your experiences, your thoughts, your stories, they're valuable. They're not open access. Today, we're breaking down the psychology behind having a small, protected circle, and why being more selective is one of the healthiest moves you'll ever make. Because once you understand the value of emotional privacy, you stop giving your heart away like it's on clearance. Let's get into it. So, why do we overshare without realizing it? Oversharing is one of those things you don't even catch yourself doing in the moment. It just happens. 1 minute, you're answering a simple question. The next minute, you're giving someone the emotional documentary of your life. And the funny thing, it's usually not because we want to spill everything. It's because we want something deeper underneath. Connection, validation, comfort, or just someone who listens without interrupting. Sometimes we overshare because silence feels awkward. You're sitting there, your brain panics, and suddenly you're filling the space with personal stories you had zero intention of sharing. Other times, you overshare because the person seems warm, or they nod a lot, or they give you that "I'm listening" face. And your brain goes, "Oh, cool, safe person," even though you literally just met them 12 minutes ago. And let's be real. When you're stressed, anxious, excited, or lonely, the filter between what I'm thinking and what I'm saying gets thin, really thin. Oversharing feels good in the moment because it releases tension. You feel heard. You feel lighter. You feel understood, temporarily. But the regret comes later, when the emotional high wears off and you realize you gave someone access to parts of your life they didn't earn. And that uncomfortable, slightly panicked feeling you get afterwards, that's your intuition saying, yeah, that wasn't the right person. Oversharing isn't the problem. Who you're oversharing to is the problem. And that's why learning to keep your circle tight matters so much. It helps you protect the parts of yourself that are not meant for public consumption. Here's the part most people don't think about. Letting people into your life too quickly isn't generous. It's risky. When you open the door wide for everyone, you're not just sharing stories. You're sharing access. Access to your mind. Access to your emotions. Access to your vulnerabilities. And not everyone knows what to do with that kind of access. Some people will handle it gently, sure. But others, they'll turn your openness into entertainment. They'll repeat your words, twist them, exaggerate them, or use them as a punchline in a conversation you're not even present for. And the worst part? You might not even find out until much later. Giving too much access too soon can backfire in subtle ways. It can make people feel like they know you when they actually don't. It can create one-sided friendships where you are the emotional provider and they are the emotional consumer. It can make you misunderstand someone's role in your life. You treat them like a close friend when they see you as a casual person they talk to sometimes. When you overshare, you give people information they didn't earn, emotional depth. They can't handle power they shouldn't have. And people who don't have the maturity, empathy, or loyalty to handle that. They either misuse it or they don't treat it with the seriousness it deserves. And let's talk about manipulation for a second. Some people listen not because they care, but because they're taking mental notes. They use your softness to spot your weaknesses. They'll figure out what makes you insecure, what makes you react, what makes you doubt yourself. And they use that to control the dynamic. Most people won't do all that malicious stuff, but even the normal ones can still be careless. They'll forget things you told them in vulnerability. They'll share your private thoughts casually. They'll treat your emotional moments like gossip. And that's the hidden cost. You end up feeling exposed, misunderstood, and sometimes betrayed. All because you handed out front row seats to people who should have been watching from the back. Keeping your circle tight isn't about being dramatic. It's about recognizing that your inner world is valuable, and not everyone gets to walk in like it's an open house. So what is the psychology behind keeping a small circle? Here's something most people don't realize. Your brain isn't designed to bond deeply with a huge group of people. It's actually the opposite. Humans function best with a small, safe, predictable circle. Why? Because emotional closeness requires energy, real energy, trust, loyalty, vulnerability, honesty. Those things take mental bandwidth. And your brain only has so much to give. When you keep your inner circle small, your mind feels calmer. You're not constantly trying to figure out who's genuine, who's fake, who's loyal, who's talking behind your back. A small circle removes all the background noise. Think about it. The fewer people you emotionally manage, the more peace you have. A tight circle gives you consistency. You know how these people act, how they think, how they react. Predictability. You don't have to wonder if they're plotting, gossiping, or switching up on you. Emotional safety. You can be yourself without overthinking every word. Stability. Less drama, fewer surprises, fewer emotional messes to clean up. Your brain loves that. It thrives on it, actually. When your circle is too big, your mind starts working overtime. Can I trust this one? Did I say too much? Why did they react like that? Should I have shared that? It becomes emotional crowd control, and that's stressful. A big circle might look impressive, but it's usually messy behind the scenes. More personalities to navigate, more opinions to juggle, more expectations to meet, more chances for conflict and betrayal. But a tight inner circle? That's where the real connection happens. That's where your energy gets protected instead of drained. That's where your growth is supported, not judged. Psychologically, we're wired for closeness, not popularity. Quality over quantity isn't just a cute quote. It's literally how our minds work best. When you limit access, you're not being rude. You're choosing peace, clarity, and emotional stability. And honestly, that's one of the smartest choices you can make. So now it is time to give you 8 signs proving you need to be more selective. Sometimes it's easy to miss the fact that your social circle might actually be stressing you out instead of supporting you. But your mind and body are always dropping hints. You just have to pay attention. Here are the signs. The things that quietly scream, time to rethink who's in your life. The first sign is you feel drained after hanging out with certain people. This is one of the clearest signals. If you leave someone's presence feeling tired, tense, or mentally foggy, it's not just in your head. Energy is real. Emotional energy is real. The right people lift you up, make you feel calm, or at least leave you feeling neutral. The wrong people, they take, and leave your battery at 5%. The second sign is you regret what you said the moment you walk away. You know that feeling. When you overshare just a little, and the second you step away, your brain goes, "Why did I say that? They didn't need to know that." That little pang of regret is your intuition telling you they're not a safe person for your deeper thoughts. Real friends make you feel comfortable sharing, not panicked. The third sign is people use your stories as entertainment. Some people treat your life like a movie, a story, or even a joke. They repeat your personal details casually. They laugh at your struggles. They turn your vulnerability into content. That's not friendship. That's exploitation. People who genuinely care treat your stories with respect, not as material for gossip or drama. The fourth sign is you're always the emotional support, but rarely the one supported if you're constantly listening, helping, encouraging, and supporting others. But when you need someone, the room goes quiet. That's a huge warning sign. Friendship should be a two-way street, not a one-way emotional drain. You can love and support people, but your energy is not unlimited. Protect it. The fifth sign is you feel like you're performing instead of being yourself. Do you catch yourself filtering every word, pretending to be someone else, or hiding parts of your personality so people won't judge you? That's a clear signal your circle isn't safe. The right people let you be messy, goofy, emotional, and real. The wrong ones make you constantly monitor yourself, and that's exhausting. The sixth sign is you often feel misunderstood or misjudged. Some people just don't try to understand you. They twist your words, assume the worst, or treat you unfairly, and you keep explaining yourself, hoping they'll get it. That's not friendship. That's wasted emotional energy. The people worth keeping will make the effort to understand you, not just assume the worst. The seventh sign is your peace feels fragile around certain people. Pay attention to how your body reacts. If your stomach knots, your mind races, or you feel tense just being around someone, your nervous system is already alerting you. This is not safe. Friendship should feel like a sanctuary, not a battlefield. The eighth sign is something just feels off. Sometimes it's not one big thing. It's a series of tiny, subtle vibes. Maybe nothing dramatic has happened, but your gut keeps whispering, something's not right. That whisper is powerful. Don't ignore it. Your intuition picks up on patterns long before your conscious mind does. All of these signs are like gentle alarms from your brain and body. They're telling you it's time to be more intentional about who gets access to your inner world. A selective circle isn't selfish. It's smart, necessary, and even life-changing for your mental peace. All right, so now you know the signs. You're starting to notice who's draining you, who's safe, and who's not. But here's the real question. How do you protect your circle without feeling awkward, rude, or mean? The answer? You do it intentionally, smartly, and without overthinking it. Here's how. Step 1. Slow down before you open up. Not every person deserves your whole story right away. Before you start sharing, pause and ask yourself, do they actually care? Have they shown loyalty or consistency? Will this information be used responsibly? Think of your inner world like a VIP club. You don't let random people into the VIP section. You let people earn it. And that's exactly how your emotional life should work too. Step 2. Observe first. Before giving someone deeper access, watch how they treat others. Do they gossip? Do they respect boundaries? Do they listen without judgment? The way someone talks about other people is usually how they'll treat you. Trust your observation, not just their words. Step 3. Share small pieces first. Start with the surface layer. Casual stories, funny anecdotes, safe topics. See how they respond. Do they respect what you shared? Do they reciprocate? If they handle the small stuff well, you can slowly let them in deeper. If not, you've just avoided giving them VIP access to your soul. Smart move. Step 4. Practice silence. Not every thought or emotion needs to be spoken. Silence is powerful. When you resist the urge to overshare, you actually gain control over your energy. You keep your inner peace intact. Sometimes saying nothing is stronger than saying everything. And honestly, people respect the mystery more than they admit. Step 5. Don't rush trust. Trust isn't automatic. It's earned. You don't have to justify being selective. You don't owe anyone immediate intimacy. If someone asks for your vulnerabilities too quickly, that's a red flag. Your job is to let them prove themselves before you let them in deeper. Step 6. Keep certain things for the people who actually matter. Some things in life are private by default. Your fears, your regrets, your dreams, your messy truths. Only share those with people who have shown consistency, care, and loyalty. The wrong people? Let them stay in the surface zone. This isn't cold, it's protection. It's your way of saying, I value myself, and I value my energy. Step 7. Boundaries aren't mean. They're necessary. You might feel nervous about hurting someone's feelings, but protecting your circle isn't rude. It's self-respect. Boundaries are like fences around your mental and emotional garden. They keep out weeds, energy vampires, and chaos, so the things that matter most can thrive. Step 8. Consistency is key. The more consistently you protect your circle, the easier it becomes. People learn your boundaries. They respect your energy. And you get to live with less drama, more peace, and stronger, healthier relationships. Quick recap. Slow down before opening up. Observe how they treat others. Share small pieces first. Practice silence. Don't rush. Trust. Keep deep things for those who deserve them. Boundaries equal sign protection, not rudeness. Stay consistent, do this. And your circle becomes not just tight, but truly safe, supportive, and energizing. Now that you know how to protect your circle, let's talk about why emotional privacy is actually one of your superpowers. Most people think privacy is cold, distant, or even secretive. But the truth, privacy is protective, powerful, and freeing. So why privacy matters? When people know less about you, they assume less, they judge less, they interfere less, they have less to use against you. Your thoughts, feelings, and experiences are valuable. You don't owe everyone a backstage pass to your life. The fewer people who can influence your inner world, the stronger and calmer you become. First, privacy equals control. When you share everything with everyone, you give away control. People start forming opinions before they truly understand you. They might gossip, manipulate, or misinterpret your words. When you keep your emotional life private, you control who gets access. You control how much energy you give. You control the narrative of your life. You don't need to explain, defend, or justify yourself constantly. That's power. Second, privacy equals peace. A tight circle gives you more than just safety. It gives you mental and emotional peace. Think about it. You stop worrying about who knows what. You stop overthinking conversations. You stop pretending to be someone else. You stop giving people the ability to disrupt your energy when your emotional life is private. Your mind finally has space to breathe. You can focus on growth, on real connections, and on the things that matter most. Third, privacy equals sign respect. People respect boundaries when they see them enforced consistently. They notice that you only share the right things with the right people. They realize your energy isn't free for anyone to spend. And guess what? The people who truly care will earn their way in. Those who don't, they fade naturally. No confrontation, no drama. Fourth, mystery is protective. There's also a subtle power in being a little mysterious. When people don't know everything about you, they can't predict you. They can't manipulate you easily. They treat you with more curiosity and respect. You're not playing games. You're just protecting your mental real estate. And trust me, it works. Emotional privacy isn't selfish. It's smart. It's self-respect. It's a way to protect your energy, your peace, and your growth. A tight circle, combined with emotional privacy, creates a life that's calmer, more stable, and more focused on the people who truly matter. Here's the truth. Keeping a tight inner circle isn't about being rude, cold, or distant. It's about being intentional, protecting your peace, your energy, and your emotional well-being. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, your feelings, or your life story. And that's perfectly okay. Protecting your circle doesn't mean you're cold or unkind. It means you value yourself enough to decide who earns the right to your trust. By slowing down, observing, sharing selectively, and practicing emotional privacy, you're not just protecting yourself. You're leveling up your life. You make space for people who genuinely add value, loyalty, and support. You create a life where your energy isn't drained, your mind isn't overworked, and your heart isn't exposed to unnecessary stress. Once you start practicing this, life feels lighter. Conversations feel safer because you're no longer oversharing with the wrong people. Friendships feel deeper because the people in your circle actually show up for you, not just take from you. Your mind feels calmer because you're not constantly wondering who's talking about you behind your back. Your heart feels protected because you're not leaving it exposed to people who don't respect it. You'll notice the difference immediately. The friends who have earned your trust genuinely check in, celebrate your wins, and listen when you're down. No judgment, no gossip, just support. The people who don't respect boundaries naturally stay in the surface layer, and you stop wasting energy on them. Even casual acquaintances start feeling less stressful because you've learned to hold back certain details until someone proves they're trustworthy. Your stories, your emotions, your experiences, they are valuable. Don't give them away to just anyone. Keep your circle tight. Protect your peace. Protect your energy. Protect your emotional space. And the beauty of it? When you do this consistently, life gets easier, simpler, and so much more fulfilling. You start attracting people who actually deserve to be in your life, not just anyone who wants to be there temporarily. If there's one takeaway from this entire video, it's this: not everyone deserves access. And the sooner you accept that, the better your life will be. Remember, you don't have to explain your boundaries to anyone. You don't have to justify keeping your circle tight. You just need to value yourself enough to protect your energy and prioritize your peace. That's how real growth, real calm, and real happiness happen.